All right, time for lunch now. Let's head over to the kitchen. Say hello to ABC7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. Hi, Judy.
Hi, Scott. Well, I have the perfect recipe if you're going to be cheering on the Boston Celtics this afternoon for the NBA tournament. I'm going to make a grilled skirt steak or grilled flank steak salad. The thing I'm excited about is that flank steak is on sale at Whole Foods. And you know, flank steak used to be that inexpensive cut. In fact, my mother used to marinate it for about 4 hours with a bottle of French dressing, and it really worked. But I find just using really good seasoned salt and pepper can be just as good if you're marrying all the different flavors with lots of crunch and texture. So we're going to bring it together with some spiralized vegetables, some orange cauliflower, and we're even going to make croutons with some gorgonzola cheese just gently melted on top. So the salad becomes the main meal, and the steak is an accessory. So stay with me because I'll be back in a few minutes. But Scott, I'll start getting your steak ready and send this back to you right now.
Back to the kitchen again to check in with Judy and that delicious flank steak today.
That's right, Scott. So I have the pan heated. You can easily grill this outside. To marinate or not to marinate, to be really honest, you don't have to be afraid of just using really good salt and pepper with the flank steak and let some of the other ingredients marry together. But it is going to be slightly chewy. So to break it down, you can even buy it already marinated at the same price. And this is the chimichurri marinade. Now, some recipes will tell you that you can marinate it overnight. Not with the thinner cuts of flank and such like skirt steak. You can marinate overnight if it's a London broil. What happens is the acid in the marinade will break down the fibers too much. You want it to work a little bit, but not too much. Now, the plain flank steak, it comes almost rolled up. So basically, when you look at it, right there, that's enough for 4 people, 1 strip, because we don't need that much meat, as I mentioned earlier, because we're going to have a lot of different items that are going to go in. So we're going to sear the meat until it becomes a perfect rare. We're going to take it out of the pan and let it rest, and then it will come up to medium rare. And that's all you need to do. Just the key is not to overcook it. Once you cover it and just let it sit. I didn't even cover this to achieve the perfect medium rare, but you'll understand that. So the next thing I want to do is get into the croutons. So I picked up a nice warm loaf, literally it was just out of the oven, baguette. And now I'm going to take some of these beautiful tomatoes because blistering tomatoes is just going to make this delicious recipe pop. So I have a nice variety of heirloom grape and cherry tomatoes, and I have the bread that's right here. Now I'm going to sprinkle a little garlic on this, and I want to get a little garlic not just on the crouton, but I want to get it on the tomatoes, and that's going to go in the oven. So we'll put that in at about 375, and we're going to watch those tomatoes. Within about 6-7 minutes they're going to start to blister, and that's the perfect time to pull it out. Now the leftover garlic, I'm just going to use in my big wood salad bowl, and this is a great Mother's Day gift, is to be able to give Mom a really beautiful salad bowl, handcrafted salad bowl. So I'm going to start mashing the garlic into the wooden bowl to get that flavor. And when we come back, we'll turn the steak and we'll be ready to make the dressing and toss it up.
Head back to the kitchen and see how lunch is coming along with ABC7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. It sure smells good. Judy?
Thanks, Scott. So now we're going to start with the base of the dressing. You're going to find kumquats are going to have a short season this year because they're a little undergrowth from the weather, but I'm going to use a few of them in a salad since I think the flavor is so good. And of course, you eat the entire kumquat, so you get that little sweet orange tang to it. And we're going to mix that in with some high-quality olive oil and then just a tad of mustard. Okay, that's going to add a little bit of flavor. We don't want it to overpower. So we'll mix that in. And then I'm going to take both balsamic, a little balsamic, and a little red wine vinegar. I very seldom use straight balsamic, only because it can make it too sweet, just like red wine vinegar can make it a little too tart. Okay, so the dressing basically is done. That is good. So we're going to take some baby kale, or you can do a mixture of baby kale and arugula. The difference in the baby kale, it's so much easier to chew because it's not all fibrous like the whole heads. I'm going to get the whole head. I'm going to use it probably in a smoothie more or soup, but this is just perfect for the salad. Now, you can get spiralized vegetables already done. So, of course, I had to get some butternut squash. Then I had some cauliflower. I had some leftover orange cauliflower. That's going to add for some nice color. And then here's a trick. Roast halved Brussels sprouts in the bacon fat that you've just cooked some bacon in. And the roasted vegetables taste delicious. But wait, there's more. Let's toss in the bacon, the same Applewood smoked bacon that I used the base from for the Brussels sprouts. Now I have some fresh basil from my garden. And I'm actually going to put in some organic parsley because I really like that little bite of flavor. And of course, it'll go well because one of the pieces of steak that I just grilled is the marinated, the chimichurri. So that's going to marry together really well. Then remember what we have in the oven is, oh yeah, so while we were on commercial break, I took those toasted croutons and I put on some Gorgonzola cheese. So now it's going to make the perfect crouton. We're going to take these blistered tomatoes, whoop, and we're going to toss that in as well. Get those two from right there, okay? And then basically we're just going to toss the whole salad, and I'm going to plate it and lay the steak right on top of it. So the dressing is basically done right into all these great vegetables. And we'll bring it to plate with the croutons and all the flavor together in just a minute. A little salt and we'll be ready to go.
This is an exquisite meal. And you were saying, you know, you're going to kind of try and incorporate more salads and more
Right,
vegetables into your diet. This is a beautiful
exactly.
way to do it.
Thanks. Well, you know, for me, it's got to have a lot of texture to it. And simple things like buying a bag of toasted chickpeas, really good idea. And then you get the Gorgonzola crouton. It's almost like a mini steak sandwich with it all the components and the blistered tomatoes.
Fantastic. The recipe's on our website, mysoncoast.com. Click on the dining link page, and I'll tell you what, Judy, everybody should have this recipe in their recipe book.
I like it.
Yeah, it's really good. Thank you.